Optic Gaming versus Gen.G in these loser finals to try and continue on to the grand finals here at CWL Anaheim. One of these teams is going to go home. And on that note, Study, can you talk to me about the matchups we've already seen between Optic and Gen.G?
So Optic and Gen.G, they have played 3 times throughout this year. The beginning was the very beginning of Pro League when they had Zuma in as a fill-in with Spacely also on Gen.G. Second time was at Fort Worth. They went to a game 5 and they got they lost and got eliminated for a top 12 placing. Last one was a reverse sweep at the Pro League. Optic Gaming were able to win that one. Currently, Gen.G are up 2-1, all of them game 5s.
And we do actually have a graphic to take a look at that. Again, these two teams have gone out before. You can see these are the recent matchup from Pro League. Optic coming out 3-2 over Gen.G.
This was during Gen.G's little slide where they got reverse swept again by another top team. But this is not the same Gen.G. Yeah, they just lost to 100 Thieves, but this is the best form we've seen them in probably ever. Definitely better than
placing.
Yeah, this is their best placing. So these two teams always play each other close. It's gonna be tough. Stylistically, they're pretty similar in that Optic and Gen.G are both decent hardpoint teams, but neither of them are great. So they clash in those modes. But Optic's super strong in control. The only one they've lost is to 100 Thieves. So that's why I'm leaning towards Optic in this series.
Yeah, Gen.G's been clinging on this tournament by search and destroy and control. So it's a pretty good matchup, I guess, for Optic because they're both sort of similar, and I think Optic has a lot more firepower. But I have to favor Optic in this for sure.
Yeah, so we did ask you on Twitter using the hashtag CWLPS4 who you think the CWL Anaheim champions will be. Let's take a look at what you guys had to say. Coming up from Antonio, Optic Gaming can win it all. They have the talent, and TJ and Skunk can come together. They can take it all.
They already are together. What you talking about?
They definitely can.
All right, this is from John. As much as I love Optic, I really think 100 Team will go back-to-back, and it's looking certainly like they can.
Word to Drake, back-to-back.
All right, from Jay, my boy Mox and the family, Gen.G got this. They've proven themselves time and time again. They just have to close this event out.
They have a long road.
A long road.
All right, guys.
And from that very long Twitter handle, that 100T versus Optic match last night pretty much solidified 100T victory for me, no doubt. They are considered the best team as of right now.
Honestly, that match last night was super close.
Yeah.
If they pulled out the control, they could have won that series.
And from Bella, I truly believe that Optic Gaming can make a comeback and win it all. Maybe, we'll see. Anything can happen.
Great, especially in this loser bracket, right? Like if they can fix their hard point, you heard Scump talk about it. He's like, if we can start winning some hard points, we can dominate these series. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to win some, because again, 100T has that stat that no one has taken both hard points off of them. And if that continues through this whole thing,
they got to get through Gen.G.
Gen.G's
a team that has knocked them out of a tournament and made them change all their roles. And it was Optic's breaking point before they started to get back on that upswing and learn how to play the game again. So this is a big matchup for them.
That is true, and we want to look at the team comparisons. Again, this is going to be Optic Gaming versus Gen.G. You can see it right there for Anaheim. All their stats for all of our modes. Optic looking considerably stronger in at least control.
This is a completely even matchup to me.
Yeah.
Really. The thing is that I'm worried about for Gen.G is we oftentimes see that team that falls into losers, like they just lost to 15 minutes ago. They crumbled to a team that hasn't lost today. Optic's hot today, so hopefully they can just let that loss go off their shoulders, come out strong, give Optic and us a great series to watch.
Especially coming off of beating 2 of the top teams that we said coming into this event. After beating United this morning and followed up by FaZe. They got to be feeling on top of the world in this series.
Yeah, but that takes a lot out of you as well. Keep that in mind, these long days. But these are players who are used to it, and as well,
Championship
Dashy and TJ have been going off for this team. So I'm looking at Prim, I'm looking at Karma especially, and I'm looking at Scump. These are guys who have dominated Sundays of tournaments. One of those guys needs to come alive and become like the best player in the venue once again, because you need to have a player like that to step up with your 2 all-stars to beat a team like 100 Thieves, to win a match versus a team like Gen.G and go to that final. One of those guys has to step up here.
They certainly do. All right, Optic Gaming versus Gen.G losers finals. We're going to get into things with Ben and Chance.
Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you to the gentleman on the desk as well. Losers bracket final. One of these two teams, Chance, is booking their spot in the grand final, where 100 Thieves is sitting ready and waiting. For Optic Gaming, they're coming in today hot. Lots of wins for Gen.G. On the other hand, a tough loss. They get 3-0'd. Now they have to bounce back, and they don't have long to get their head back in the game.
Well, and I will say, an issue for Gen.G that's been brought up quite a bit is they keep going against these top teams, and they're having trouble closing. But that last series, in my mind, they're not choke jobs. They're not throwing it away. it's 100 Thieves making the bigger plays, right? Like you had the first hard point, you got Priestahh. He picks up a quad with the grab slam, gets the 5-man feed, and that's like a 30-point swing in that game. Huge difference maker. The S&D, Envoy's earning War Machines, but then the stuns are coming in clutch for 100 Thieves, so it's a battle.
Well, here's a look at the key player matchup that we're going to be keeping our eyes on. TJ, who has had a phenomenal event, in my opinion. You can make an argument, potential MVP. And Envoy, on the other hand, I mean, those stats, they're so close. I mean, hardpoint is a, what, 0.02 difference, Search and Destroy at 0.03. It's only really the control where Envoy has a bit of a bigger KD.
And I mean, I've seen quite a bit of Optic so far this weekend. Gen.G, I've only been able to watch the last match that they played, so I was expecting TJ to be blowing him out of the water. The fact that, again, it's even that close is surprising, and that just goes to show that Gen.G came to play.
Well, in terms of the maps that we're going to see, map number 1, a frequency hardpoint. Chance, any numbers jump out at you for game 1?
Well, I mean, it has to be said, right? They played this at the Pro League. Optic bullied them out just a little bit. It was a 250-126 win for them, so Optic comfortable to play on this map. They're 4-3 on the week so far, and then, of course, Gen.G only 1-2. So, of course, that means that Gen.G comes out strong and wins that first map. That's a huge curveball, but if you're a betting person, well, you expect it's Optic.
It is worth mentioning these two teams have played several times, and Game 5 has been on the cards every one of them, so we'll see what we get here. Losers bracket final, map number 1 underway. Optic Gaming versus Gen.G. And Crim looking to trade out a couple of early deaths, unable to do so. Gen.G with the early time.
Opening break, always an important thing to win on frequency. Mox, of course, with the SOG. You're not very used to seeing him, and he is going to fall. Kills, of course, traded back and forth, and it looks like Optic, the resurgence is there. Envoy, the last man standing, shot down. Optic in the hill.
Yeah, this is good, but again, keep your eye on the minimap. It's the spawns which are going to be crucial. As it stands, it is Gen.G with that minor advantage. You're going to see a couple players pushing straight through. Scump is one of them, and this is a great flank, which really could put a lot of pressure on the back line of Gen.G. Optic still in the hill, contested. It's going to be down to TJ. Has a support of 1 to try and win the gunfight. Tagged up, and Gen.G fly forward. TJ was only able to find 1, but it's Crim doing a good job here of anchoring the spawns.
Yeah, Envoy putting the pressure much more towards the hill rather than the back spawn, so now all of Gen.G has to return. Dashy, the leading man on the charge, well, has a gunfight right in front of him, and the nade does the job. Optic with the spawns, retake the lead, trying to bump the numbers up just a little bit more, and Gen.G, their work cut out for him. A lot of players working their way through elbow, trying to cut through orange. Major Maniac, well, he gets traded. Optic stable so far.
40 seconds left, still Optic with the spawns, and more importantly, the hill time as Gen.G funnel through the front door. There is Dashy. That's 3 in a row for him. He does fall. And Scump able to go for at least 1 trade. Major Maniac again through window. Causing some problems, but not that many, because Optic still with all the hill time, as now it's Karma's job to control the front door, unable to find the first pick. But with 20 seconds left, honestly, you're Optic Gaming, you've done such a good job of controlling the hill.
Just about perfect. They're going to get the near full 60 off the rotation. That's a massive job, and well, they have quite a bit of time to start to make the break over towards next. Nagafen, though, picks up 2 to slow them down, and any kills he gets just to keep Optic at bay, and of course, he spawns up, he'll be back in the action. Major Maniac feels the pressure. He backs down. They're just trying to slow the pace of Optic so they can hold on to Nuke.
Oh, I mean, if Dashy's shooting like that, you can try and slow him down, but it's not going to be easy for Gen.G. You've got to stop the bleeding. You cannot let Optic Gaming walk through into P3, and it seemingly has been the case. TJ up top balcony, not able to find Nagafen, and well, Gen.G retake control of the hill thanks to controlling the spawns. Optic Gaming are going to have another big push. Mox has been forced to concede balcony control. Envoy's there, and that's a double beatdown, a triple kill for him. There's only 2 players left, but Dashy finds himself a double. Optic, despite not being in the best spot, they're making a good go of this.
I mean, Envoy gets a triple, and they barely get that much time off of it. Still, they do not have a player in the hill, and that's Optic being feisty, doing a nice job just to be scrappy, chip away at the seconds Gen.G was expected to get. Now it's TJ's turn in the window. He gets cut down, but if you're Optic, this is a hill you did not have the early spawns for, and Gen.G managed to get, what, 15 seconds at best? That is a fantastic job, but of course, the next rotation, Gen.G is there first once again.
Got to start winning these first wave of gunfights, though, relatively comfortably, and that's just something Gen.G has been unable to do. So Optic Gaming just walking to the hill. A couple of kills was all it took. Nagafen will shut down Dashy, and he actually finds himself 2 before the trade from TJ. Scump still in the hill, though. He's going to slide away as the lead starts to get bigger and bigger. Dashy with a rare mistake. He'll take a tumble. 77-36, though, the point lead as the hill contested with 30 seconds left.
Major Maniac is able to break in. Nagafen picking up a couple more. Dashy, of course, well, he's tied for leading the lobby in kills. Nagafen right there with him. We talk about that rotation battle. Gen.G, they've already got bodies in the next hill, and Optic, well, they're fighting for old. I don't know how much of it they're going to be able to get because of the SOG. You see Envoy still roaming around, but Optic, they made the decision. You want the scrap time, but Gen.G says, hey, that's fine, we'll give it to you. We'll take the rotation. But at the same time, Gen.G's been there first twice in a row, and they're still down by 40 points.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deficit, all things considered, after that first rotation, but Gen.G will chip away at it early. What is available? Well, Tempest for Major Maniac, and that really is about it. Havoc still working towards that grab slam, and Envoy not yet earned the War Machine, but you have to hold, you have to get yourself a big chunk of time here if you're Gen.G. And more importantly, the spawns for that second rotation towards P2. It wasn't great. And now TJ, well, to pull out the War Machine, let it rattle off, but it's firing only really towards his own spawn. It's pretty much free time here for Optic Gaming.
I say you don't get much out of the War Machine, but you still get a ton of time. Optic has been very content with fighting and trying to work the breaks on the hills, and you can see why they are hyper successful at it. Gen.G never able to hold on. Now you got the grab slam for Karma. So if body stacking this next hill, he'll be good to go, but the fight for the back spawns is there first. Mox finds one. And of course, well, it looks like Gen.G, all the pressure in the world, but we've said it before, Gen.G, they can get in the back first. Optic, they have been very happy to just break.
You just have to make sure you control the spawns, and you're watching the overextension of TJ. Scott through, Scott free. No one knows he's here. He could really cause some pain. Oh no, that can't happen. That cannot happen, but Envoy is there for the trade. Karma wants to just again apply pressure to the backside, and that's a big gunfight to win. Optic Gaming control the spawns as they look to run away with game number one.
This has just been a steamroll. You got Gen.G spawning so far out. You got Dashy hanging out in the hill beyond double positive. Another 5 streak for this man, turning up on Sunday, but you do have to grab the hill time back up just a little bit. But Optic has been stable. They have been out-rotated just about every single time, and it has not made a single bit of difference. They are just bullies right now on the main stage.
And if it isn't bad enough, Dashy now just 210 points away from his first streak. He'll pick up all the scrap time, and we find ourselves in a very similar position to what we had in the first rotation. Gen.G, P3 early, but now they need a full hold. If they have any chance of coming back into this game, you're already at that conversation where, well, someone needs streaks, and you need to make sure that Optic don't get streaks. Dashy, of course, could be the player from Optic Gaming to do just that. Nade available. He knows there's one back elbow. It's going to be Nagafen. Doesn't connect. And has teammates to bait from here as well.
He's going to pull out the ICR as well. I think he's really just trying to stay on the map. And of course, you got Havoc. He's coming on the flank. He's going to shut down the streaks of Dashy, and he's looking for the next kill as well. But at the same time, Gen.G, it doesn't matter what Havoc's doing, because inside the hill, well, Optic was at least there for a moment. Envoy, though, he shuts that right down.
There has to be such a big hole in Gen.G setup for Optic to continuously breaking into P3S, only contesting when it's time, which Gen.G at this point need. Down just shy of 100 points, and Envoy himself starting to work towards some streaks. You may see the War Machine used as well, just to get him a little closer. Not now, but on that rotation as he wins another gunfight. If he finds one more, this is going to be massive. He needs the help, though. 160 away, playing his life. He knows the importance of these streaks. He has to win this gunfight. Will do so. Streaks for Gen.G.
He was able to get them when they're down by about 75 points. Now they're going to the open hill. Major Maniac is here first. And honestly, you even have the War Machine. You can use the streaks, the specialists, whatever you like. Karma, though, he's got the grab slam, can only find one. Moving on through, but their turn is there. Havoc finds two of his own. Scump's going to fall. He gets the beat down. Gen.G, the best hold they've had.
This is where it could get interesting. War Machine instantly going to be used. That's going to slow down Optic Gaming if nothing else. And bear in mind, Optic with no streaks of their own to break through. So if Gen.G do get broken quickly here, Envoy with at least a couple of extra utility, the Hellstorm and the Lightning Strike. The problem is you can't be losing gunfights left, right, and center. Dashy does fall, but it's Envoy all by himself. Once again, he shuts down 2, almost 3, but the trade should surely be there. Mox from deep with the ICR. Gen.G surging back into this game.
They were down by about 75 when the streaks were earned, and still they're down by about 60 because Optic, that scrap time going their way. That's a Vision Pulse, I believe. Mox is calling in for the rotation. Nagafen in the hill, though, is going to get shut down. Of course, the Vision, I think, no longer pinging. Crim in the hill, the ICR battle won by Mox. That gets pressure inside the hill. Now it's the Sog's turn to fight. It's Scump, TJ, and Dashy in the hill, and the Sogs for Optic come out on top.
196, 128, Optic Gaming inside the new hill. Hellstorm will be called in, and you can see the angle he's trying to go for. Tries to get it steep inside you, connects with one. A good angle, now comes the cavalry, but Dashy has a Tempest, there's 2. Looking for 3, Envoy shuts him down, and to Envoy's credit, he is actually still alive. It's Scump versus Envoy for now. The support coming from both teams, and Scump just really been a pain. Somehow managed to contest for as long as he did.
Yeah, keep in mind, Gen.G right now is spawning out because TJ's orange side, so Optic, they can be scrappy, but they can be happy to give away these final 20 seconds. It does not make a difference to Optic, and if they get it, even better. The important thing for them is the rotation. You hold on to orange, you're gonna win this game. Gen.G are just down in a rut. Last time they played, Ben, Optic won 250 to 126. It is almost exactly the same score.
A little bit of improvement, you could argue. Krim was close to some streaks there. He will fall. There's still the lightning, and Envoy is going to be forced to use it. What effect will that have? You've got to break quickly because Optic Gaming are about to reach 230 points. Just 20 more seconds is all the green wall needs to take map number 1, put them one step closer to a rematch against 100 Thieves. And Krim has done so well to stay alive despite the lightning strike, despite the consistent pressure at the backside of the map. Optic Gaming, 5 more seconds, and this will be GG. Scump, Dashi, Karma, all still alive. That's a wrap for map number 1. Optic Gaming, dominant.
4 losses now in a row for Gen.G in terms of maps, and this is Optic who, on the day, they're at least 6 map wins. They have been on a scorch through the losers bracket, beating quite a few good teams on their way here. And they have not slowed down a single bit. Dashi he went and had another one of his games.
And this is one of those big fears. We touched on it, and I know the desk has touched on it almost every single event. When you fall into the loser's final, straight from a winner's final, you have to recover as quickly as you possibly can. Map number 1 in that series in the loser's final is so crucial that you kind of forget everything that just happened, especially if you get blown out 3-0. There's a very real opportunity now for Optic Gaming to just steal this series very, very quickly.
And of course, it's not just getting knocked down in losers. Like you're thinking, all right, map 1 will bounce back, not a problem. We literally just played, so our shots are gonna be warm, and Optic shuts that down instantly. I mean, we had 4 or 5 hills in a row. Gen.G's there, and I don't mean like one random guy who made it to the hill. I mean, they had setups that Optic just broke through in 5-10 seconds at most. I mean, really, it was the second hill off the rip. They got about 60 points on. Gen.G touched nothing. The next 3 hills, Gen.G should have been able to retake the lead, and instead, Optic again, they were just bullies on the map.
And it's that consistent pressure, which, I mean, you see there on P2. 118 to 1. Yes, of course, when it came to P3, there's a big difference as well, 60 to 8. But, I mean, that tells the full story, really, doesn't it?
I mean, again, yeah, that blue hall. That means Gen.G was there first twice because of how bad they were getting beat on command center over towards orange, and still Optic just chipped away all the time. I mean, really, like, we watched Envoy pick up a 3-piece with a double beat down in the window. Meanwhile, Scump's hanging out on the hill. I think it was Karma that was there next to him, and they still contested for another 20-25 seconds before Gen.G even caught a breath of air, so Optic just doing crazy stuff the entire time.
Yep, very good map number 1 from Optic Gaming, that's for sure, but I think when you look at Gen.G in a series like this, it's more the search and destroys that you think, all right, well, this is how they can maybe extend the series. This is how they can maybe take it to a game 5. Of course, they would need to still win a respawn, and maybe that's where control comes in. But for me, it is just get back on track, and maybe this next search and destroy, it can do that because it's a hacienda.
At the same time, though, Optic Gaming, like we've even seen a series earlier today where they lost, they lost both hard points, and they win both searches. It's like a flip-flop from last year from Optic Gaming where search used to be the struggle. Now it might be their best game mode, and once you fall to that map number 1, yes, Gen.G is a very strong search and destroy team. But on Hacienda, Optic is going to be comfortable playing them. Optic played Heretics earlier this week, and that's a map Heretics love to be on, and Optic are going to be comfortable at this point, no matter what.
Definitely will, and that's what's scary. If you're a Gen.G fan, you find yourself 1-0 down. You were 3 maps away from a grand final. Lose the winner's final, you get a second life in the loser's final. Now you're 1-0 down against the green wall. As we load in to the Hacienda Search and Destroy, map 2 in this series. If Gen.G want to try and take this, if they want to book their ticket into the grand final, it's an imperative map to win now.
And I think goal number 1 for Gen.G is just try to shut down TJ. TJ has been scorching hot in the searches. He's putting up highlight reels left and right. You find that man on the map, you make sure you either kill him or you run the other way. Nagafen, nice entry, first blood. Gen.G moving that bomb towards B.
And you have to think as well, these early rounds are important for Gen.G just to get the confidence back, just to give some inner belief. As Dashi looking for the sniper, it's Havoc mid-map that does find Karma. Dashi still looking for the pick, but now you find yourself in a 2v4.
And of course, you got number 3 on the map, Major Maniac gonna flank, but maybe Dash is gonna play aggressive, try to get up in the hallways, maybe catch this player off bomb, but Envoy does get it down. Dash is gonna come from one angle, but he's only got the pistol, and I think Envoy probably got the call out. Crim6, last man standing. He does take a player with him, but Gen.G, first round on board.
And that's a couple of kills there for Envoy as well. And you start thinking about maybe streaks in a few rounds time, but a good first round from Gen.G, what they need.
And I think if there's any like men that you want to put up as the counterpart to fight against TJ, Envoy's got to be the guy. You saw the stats at the top of the show. Comparable, like straight across, and I think Envoy actually touched him up a little bit in a couple of the game modes, and Search and Destroy is going to be the most difficult one by a mile. But a nice first round on board. Gen.G, you get the first blood, you win the round.
Now, going into round number 2. Teams, of course, swapping sides, and in terms of Envoy's first round, it was 3 kills, so a good start for him, that's for sure. As you can see on the mini-map, Optic Gaming, of course, on the attack. They're surging towards A, but they're going to be met by Gen.G. They've read the play. Now, though, can they find the kills? Some team shots coming through. That's going to slow the defensive push as 2 kills come in for Optic Gaming. It's a 4 versus 3. Nagafen will fall as well. 4 versus 1, and just like that, Optic Gaming assert their dominance on the second round. Major Maniac may turn on Karma there, but it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. It was a 1v4, he makes it a 1v2, but Optic Gaming level it up.
And I think Crim6 was a huge factor in that. You're going to potentially see him in the best play, but it's not just the kills he got, it's all of the damage through the fences. You tag up a player when they try to heal by shooting through the fence, it's going to stop that right in its tracks. You saw the first guy came out for Havoc, tries to fly out outer fences, but he's getting tagged up through the fence along the way. It stops him in his tracks. Crim6 killed the momentum, and then he went and killed the opposition.
Yeah, 3 kills for him in that round, so you can forget the storyline of Envoy and streaks. Maybe Crim could get some streaks later on in the map. Back to Gen.G on the attack. Dashi, of course, will have the sniper rifle out, but Nagafen, he's looking for it. He has spotted Dashi. Now, Dashi got sniped by, it was lucky earlier on from the opposite side, and Dashi was looking for the snipe. Nagafen connects, big first blood.
Dashi's the best sniper in the world, except for that defense-to-defense engagement. He's 0-for-2 on that one, but he will surely bounce back. Envoy, another bomb plant for him, and keep in mind, he might honestly be going for the War Machine later on. Havoc gets the kill on TJ and had the support if necessary, but another first blood for Gen.G. They got the 5v3 and bomb down, and this is when they are at their best.
Yep. This should be a round which is almost impossible to throw away with 30 seconds left, but I say that, Crim and Karma both find picks. Now all of a sudden this gets scary. It's a 2 versus 2. It's now a 2 versus 1. It's gonna fall down to Major Maniac with 20 seconds on the clock. Karma and Scump alive. They know exactly where he is, but with 15 seconds left, Optic may have to push Major Maniac with 1. Is there gonna be enough time for Karma to get to the bomb? Yes, there is. A big, big retake for Optic Gaming. It was a 3 versus 5, and they somehow win the round.
That is when Gen.G is supposed to be at their best, and then Crim makes a huge play up top. He's up in the hallways, he finds one, and he darts away so quick and reads the player jumping up to try and hunt him down. And another best play we have for Crim6, and you're gonna see exactly that. The first blood up top, scurries away down the hallways, makes the read and gets the double kill. And then Scump, well, picks up some big kills himself.
Sure does. A big turning point maybe. And a round which you would have really bet heavily on Gen.G winning a 5 versus 3, and Optic still come back to take it. These rounds can be so deflating. As Mark's still looking for his first kill. We'll see Nagafen with the snipe on the other side. I don't think there's going to be anyone home though. Optic Gaming, they've split the map, looking for that first blood.
Scump doing some nice shoulders, but he's just drawing away information. He does have bomb, so if Gen.G, they might be hunting Scump down. He's gonna fall. They know they have bomb. They might be able to play around it. TJ though does even up the odds, but loses the gunfight just by a bullet. Bomb is down, 4v3, and obviously Naga knows where Crim is.
Tags him up. But Crim's still alive, and well, they clutched with a 2-man disadvantage last round. You never know. Can they do it twice in a row? Karma and Crim for the 2 versus 4. Crim will drop. Now it's down to Karma for the 1v4. It's just simply not gonna happen. Gen.G flood top corridors, they shut him down, and a big response there to tie things up 2-2.
Well, 3 for 4 for first bloods for Gen.G, but obviously they have thrown away 1-5 versus 3. Last time Gen.G on the attack, and even the time before that, it's Envoy who eventually gets the bomb down over towards the B site. Optic have had No problems with the retake the second time, but definitely problems in the past. Will they make the adjustment, maybe send an extra man that direction? Or do they do the opposite, leave Scump there and have a stack over towards A, because they're thinking next level. They're expecting Gen.G to bounce back, and they call it right.
They're not looking for the snipe this time. Karma will find a first blood. Dashi misses the shot there to give them a 2-man advantage. Good enough to slow things down. The hit marker comes through. Now a 5 versus 3. Optic Gaming in the driver's seat here in round number 5. Maniac going wide. Is he going to be able to find at least one? No, he's not. Krim shuts that down. A perfectly executed round from Optic Gaming.
Last man standing, Mox just going to have to die by someone. It's Karma that gets the final bullet. Optic gets the first blood, and from there, they are perfect. Obviously, the hit marker dash he got made TJ get a nice kill up top, but just a ton of gunfights, and everyone from Gen.G, once that first man falls, you just get swarmed on over at that site, and that's a nice counter shot. Again, I was kind of expecting Optic, hey, they've gone B a few times, send an extra man that direction. They don't. They think the opposite. Right. They know that Gen.G has had success. They're expecting them to switch things up, and they call it right.
Crim6 currently 7-3, 5 rounds. Great performance from him, and it was a few rounds prior, if you remember, where he was able to do so much damage out of fences. He's looking to try and get a repeat of something very similar. The problem is, the hit markers are coming through, the kills not just yet. Now surely Optic Gaming will collapse. There's 3 kills, maybe even 4. Havoc does find 1. Krim should know he's behind him. Scump's there to save the day. Major Maniac will find the pick, but this a theoretical 1v4. Major Maniac trapped and being hunted.
The good news for Major Maniac, they do not have the information. The bad news is, it's a 1 versus 3, the bomb's getting planted. He can, well, he knows what the setup is, kill the first man and then get him off bomb, but he doesn't get the insta-kill with the punch in the back. But of course that bomb doesn't get planted, 1v2, and he can approach from any different angle he wants. He might be expecting them to push out connector, or he might go there himself.
TJ and Krim for Optic Gaming. This to tie things up. Now he has the information on just 1. That's going to be TJ. Wins the gunfight 1v1. It's Crim6. It's Major Maniac. He finds him and he clutches up a 1v4 for Major Maniac to tie things up at 3-3. He gets close to streaks. You thought maybe, just maybe, he'd mess things up a little bit when he doesn't get the insta-punch, but Optic Gaming hop off bomb, and rightfully so, they have to then replant. He plays it perfectly. A great clutch from him.
A series of perfect plays. As soon as that punch doesn't get the kill, you're thinking, damn, the play collapses just like that. He resets himself, and he makes just another series of phenomenal plays. That is a massive round. That is a confidence boost. That is a stress relief. Being down 4-2 is drastic. Having that happen
and now
be a nice little momentum boost, but
more importantly, think about Major Maniac, 225 off streaks. He's working it very, very close towards a Tempest. The perfect start for him. But despite that, it is still just a 3-3 game as Dashi searches for a first blood. A couple of players may peek, and you've got to be so, so careful. You know Dashi's going to be watching this. And you know he's rarely going to miss the shots. He gets tagged up, and well, he's forced to concede a little bit of map controls. He backs away. Gen.G are on the bomb, and that has gone down. Now Optic Gaming for the 5-man retake.
And you get the plant and you get away with your life. You got Optic, 2 men trying to hit their connector. Dashi's gonna look for the snipe eventually, mocks the first blood. Major Maniac falls it up. The connector pushes here, but I think Karma, the last man in that direction, he gets hunted down and killed. Dashi, last man standing, and he gets dropped by Major Maniac.
That's gonna be streaks. That's at least gonna be the lightning strike. A big, big turn of events here in the search and destroy. A great round. As soon as they get that bomb down, and you called it perfectly, because they stay alive. It's still a 5v5. It makes that retake so hard.
And the lightning strike is huge, because they have had a couple times on defense where one of their strats is you get your Sogs up towards outer fences, you put the pressure on, but Optic has been picking them apart, shooting them through the fence, getting a man in connector.
Yeah.
But the good news is, if you're having trouble defending a site, and you have a lightning strike, it becomes infinitely easier. And more importantly, if the lightning strike isn't good enough, you get the Hellstorm. And if the Hellstorm isn't good enough, you get the Tempest.
Yes, a lot of extra utility now for Gen.G. You would expect them to close out this game too, but crazier things have happened. And let's not forget the 3v5 earlier on from Optic Gaming to keep this close. And then, of course, the 1v4 from Major Maniac. It's been a pretty eventful game 2 search and destroy. It was Optic on the attack. Look to level it up 4-4. Still waiting for the first blood. 60 seconds to go. And I guess the fear here is, when is Major Maniac going to call no streaks?
You got men watching A, you got Major Maniac. As soon as he sees a man move towards B, you back up, ping the lightning, force him back for a couple seconds. 10 after that, you drop it in. Karma, though, well, he gets spotted. He's trying to make a play, but now he knows he's got to get out. But Major Maniac calls in the lightning straight off the bat. And Karma, though, is able to get the first blood in spite of it.
Very impressive because they had him dead to rights. He is going to be stunned. Surely the kill comes through. But bear in mind, this is now a 3v3. Make that a 3v2 for Optic Gaming. No more streaks available because Major Maniac has fallen. Havoc wants to just go straight flying forward. Not necessarily sure that was the smartest thing. Dashi flanks. And a nicely played round, which was opened up by none other than Optic Karma.
And in my mind, if I have double streaks in a Tempest and I'm using one, use them both.
Yeah.
Do not be the man that pushes up anywhere near the bomb site. You play in the back of the map. We actually saw Optic. It was Crim6 that had streaks on this map in a very similar situation. He literally sat in spawn. Sat in spawn the entire time to make sure you get the guaranteed use out of it. And your Maniac, he wanted to split them. He wanted to win one round apiece with either streak, but they get punished for it. Down to the Hellstorm. Down to the Tempest.
It's still 13-4 with that Tempest as well. The question, when does he want to invest the specialist? That's really what I'm more curious to find. Because for now, Gen.G have split the map relatively evenly. A first blood comes through. It should be traded out. 4v4. One more player lower, though. You've got to be careful. Major Maniac peeks, and he's such an important player for Gen.G to stay alive because he is the player with the Hellstorm and also the Tempest. If he falls, Optic Gaming know the pressure's kind of off.
Take a note where that bomb is down. Not in a place where they can find it. Dashi just splits the players, and he's gonna give Nagafen.
No.
TJ in the hard point, Dashi in the search and destroy. That is a dagger.
I mean, Nagafen is also covering Major Maniac there, who's the guy with the streaks. That cannot happen. Mox will concede the round.
And seemingly like Gen.G's chances in this game, they're just gonna drown.
You still have a Tempest, and you still have a streak.
If you burn the Lightning and Hellstorm and you're up 4-3, you go up 5-3, you still have the Tempest in the back pocket, you surely can win with your guns one of the next 3 rounds.
That's not okay, I'm sorry. That's...
And you gotta imagine every person on Gen.G just had to watch that.
That's not going to fill you with confidence when you see your teammate get
turned on like
that.
Every person on Optic just watch their team.
That's going to give you a lot of confidence, yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, that's kind of how that works. 9-5 is Dashi. He's 200 points away from streaks himself, but is it even going to make a difference? Major Maniac has to stay alive, and if I'm honest at this point, I think you have to invest the Hellstorm here. Yes, you'd love it for around 11, but let's be honest, you've got to get there first, and based off what we've just seen, I don't think many people are all that confident. You get the info. Optic, of course, at A.
And Scum knows as soon as that EMP comes in, that's the information, and he's expecting the Hellstorm to get called in instantly. Eventually, that's the case, but Envoy, with the Maddox, able to get first blood in Dashi. He's the man that's going to die. No streaks for him.
That's a very, very important kill to get. This round should be over. It's a 4 versus 1. It is down to Crim. Is he playing for anything? Not really. No streaks at all, so expect the round to be conceded. This one, folks, is going to a round 11. And the only thing really at play here is still Major Maniac and the Tempest.
And Major Maniac having one of the best maps of his entire life, 16-5.
And what a time to do it as well.
In an elimination match, losers bracket final against Optic Gaming on one of the, at Anaheim.
Yeah, you can ask for a better time, but.
And his teammates cannot let him down. Gen.G cannot be understated. They need this win.
Nagafen at 2-9, Mox at 3-8. If there was a time to just turn it around, it would be here. Now, bear in mind, the Tempest is already out. Optic Gaming are going to be a little slow here, and it may actually bait out a rotation. This is a very, very well thought through round here from Optic Gaming. You have to expect that Tempest.
And if Optic doesn't move, I mean, the Tempest is halfway done. Granted, Major Maniac has been fantastic with the normal gun. First kill effectively gets traded out, but that Tempest, it's gone. He has to pull out his gun now, so no use out of that. Optic Gaming playing passive, They might not know yet, but that was the call.
On the bright side, for Gen.G, you've burnt a little bit of time off the clock. That's really about it. There's now Optic Gaming eyeing up the prize at the B-bomb site. 40 seconds left. Gen.G split pretty bad. Nagafen now will know. Envoy with the nade, this could be big. He finds the kill, bomb not planted. Optic will have to retrieve it and try and plant with 27 seconds left. In come Gen.G, they've hunted out TJ, they have Optic Gaming trapped. Surely the pinch is gonna be there. Mox with one, Mox with two, the third comes through, Dashi drops, and Gen.G, despite an unreal performance from Major Maniac, still had to fight tooth and nail for that map. They take it in round 11, and they tie up the series 1-1.
It took Major Maniac having the game of his life, a 1v4 clutch, 16 plus kills, bait at the end. And all that, Ben, just to tie the series. That is
insane.
We're in for a treat. They've played 3 times on the year. It has been game 5 3 times. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see it again.
Couldn't ask for a closer search and destroy, and what a performance again from Major Maniac. I mean, 2,641 damage. An unreal amount. That's 1,300, basically more than the second closest on the leaderboard there, which was Envoy. A great map from him, and Gen.G, they can look at him and say, well, thank you very much for that. Thank you for the 1v4. We appreciate you. The hard point wasn't pretty. Optic Gaming cruised through it, but Gen.G responded. It's all tied up at 1-1. We'll be back after this with Game 3 Control.
The Gen.G roster consists of Nagafen, Mox, Major Maniac, Havoc, and last but not least, Envoy.
Who were Gen.G before Black Ops 4? We didn't know them! Who were they? We knew who Nagafen was, we knew who Havoc was, but the rest of the squad was such unknowns, and that was why when they came into the playing qualifiers for the Pro League, it was so insane to see these guys who were like Team Space at the time just destroy everyone.
These 5 players again have seen great success, in the recent 5 months. We've seen their ups, their downs. When they're on form, they're one of the best.
I think for player to watch in this particular team, I have to go with Envoy. He's been incredible. He's a guy that absolutely deserves to be on a top team in Gen.G. The kid has been a sicko in a position that has been very difficult for a lot of people this year. Running a SOG is not easy in this game. He's made it look easy. I think he's an incredible talent. He's got a very bright future ahead of him.
When Envoy hit that team, when Envoy got on that stage, he blew us all away.
Talk about Gen.G's roster change. It came at a very interesting time. Obviously, they had Spacely, such a good player, especially at the beginning of the year, but then Envoy pops up. And one of the keys this year for a lot of big teams has been finding youth, developing the youth, and just frying with the youth.
I think their momentum has slowed down just a little bit. I think every team throughout a year is going to go through a rough patch. I think we saw that recently at the Pro League for Gen.G.
Gen.G hit a little bit of a rough patch in their kind of second leg of the Pro League in Division B. They need to get back to the basics. They're one of the best hardpoint teams in the game. They have to get back to that form.
With the current competition out there, right now, Gen.G, I feel, are going to struggle to win a championship. However, can they improve? Can they get that top 3 finish? Can they find themselves in a grand final? I genuinely believe so.
It's a long shot, but I think Anaheim's going to be a great test to how far they can go at Champs. If they can get a decent placing in Anaheim, top 3, I think they could possibly make a run at Champs.
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Level up the game.
Optic and Gen.G tied 1-1 in the losers bracket final here at the Anaheim Open. Now we head over to a frequency control. Chance, stats, break it down. How's it looking?
On the year, Optic Gaming at events, 22-5 in control. That is spectacular. They're 6-1 here on frequency, 6-3 since London, 2-0 here. Okay. And then for Gen.G, they are 2-2 on frequency control at this event. And obviously, we just watched 100 Thieves beat them on this map in the previous series.
So what you're saying?
I'm saying Optic is terrifyingly good at control in general, and they're definitely strong on this map as well.
All right, well, game already underway, and Krim is doing his best rock impression.
Dwayne the Rock, Krim 6.
Not sure how effective that's going to be. Finally wants to push forward. Maybe he's just trying to play with the timings, and well, that didn't really work, did it? Either way, 2 ticks of progression already into B. Havoc's there, he'll shut down 1. Dashi trying to assault from up top, no luck whatsoever. Gen.G, a great start. B capped 2 minutes 15 on the clock.
I'm gonna guess Krim 6 was probably just like using the information. Maybe they pushed through in the past, he's waiting for that, or he's switching classes. Either way, Gen.G very happy with the opening break. You get all the time in the world, all the lives to play with, just to capture A. Now number 6 gonna be a problem. TJ in the base, Major Maniac deals with them. Did so in the search and destroy. Does so for at least a gunfight here on frequency. But you see Optic, all those bodies round A.
And this is what makes Optic so scary, right? When it comes to control. If they get one set of kills, one wave of kills, you know they're gonna fly forward into Gen.G spawn, and they will spawn trap you. They will deplete your lives so very quickly that Gen.G can't afford to be passive, and while they're already putting pressure in towards A, this is a good attacking play. They clear out the zone. Now Optic are gonna have to come and try and retake, but another kill comes through. The first tick in A should be good. And more importantly, Gen.G have numbers.
Only 2 bodies in the hill, though, for the moment. The reinforcements are coming, but so is Optic Gaming. The Surge is here, the Sogs in the feed. A team kill for Optic should give Gen.G a little bit of clearance, and there it is. Last man standing in the hill. Well, Nagafen takes care of him. 3rd tick gonna go through. First round, the way of Gen.G.
Well, after round number 1, you can throw your stats away because that was pretty much perfection from Gen.G.
I think really just comes down to a bad opening break. Yeah. It was, well, a great one for Gen.G, a bad one from Optic. Whose perspective you want to speak from, but again, it was 30 seconds into the round effectively, and Gen.G had a point captured, and the lives were effectively tied up. And Optic Gaming, not a great defensive stand. They held on for a tiny bit, but Gen.G, it really just took one push.
Yeah, some great trades as well, more than anything else, inside the A zone from Gen.G. They have the advantage. Now, of course, for them, I'll go on to the defensive side. What is Optic Gaming going to bring on their first round of attack? Well, it's going to be a 3-2 split, 2 mid-map, 3 over towards A. Havoc's already there. He'll spot at least 1 player. Meanwhile, a couple of players from Optic are inside A. They win the gunfights as well, so progression starting. Envoy's been hunted down. Scump did not want to let him go. It's almost as if Optic Gaming saying, anything you can do, we can do better.
And I'm just going to take a guess here and say Gen.G is putting a little bit of a preference towards the B site, considering they did not fight at all. So the setup they're going with, you got one, maybe two guys to watch the flank. And Optic Gaming has done this before. Last time they always try to flank through blue. This time it looks like they're sending at least 4 just to try to force it through the front. So they're not splitting the attack, the offense. They're just going to go straight for it. Do it mano-a-mano.
Keep your eye on Krim though. Number 10 on that mini-map. Back elbow. Try and go for some spawn kills if he's given the opportunity. That was the chance. Nagafen does find the kill. It's a 2-life advantage for Optic Gaming, but still 2 minutes to play of this round. There's no progression into B just yet, but the kills all going in the Green Wall's favor. Major Maniac backs away, but there's a player up top. He should fall. No, actually wins the fight. It's TJ that drops, and while Dashi now starting to work towards some streaks, 325. May just have to play for a couple of kills. Nagafen stops that. Now the zone contested. Good defense from Gen.G.
Nice little bounce back. Optic Gaming again, still trying to effectively just force it in through the front. They got body stacked up, and you see Karma, he's already thinking about the flank. But that means his teammates have to play passive and wait for it to come in. Wait for him to open up the map just a little bit. Mox is there. Karma gets the kill. That's the opening. Now players move towards the hill. But as soon as they do, Karma, well, it's him and Crimsix, last man standing, and make that just Karma, where he's going to be in between a ton of players, and he gets shut down. Another defensive stand from Gen.G.
And it's another good defensive stance. Now look at what's happening, though. This time Gen.G trying to push forward, trying to get at least a little bit of control. That is a must-needed trade from Nagafen onto TJ. Optic Gaming going to be a little worried about maybe Nagafen pushing for the flank. In reality, may just control mid-map. Armor one shot, have to make sure if that turns around, there's going to be Scump. He will drop 14 to 12. Optic still with the 2-life advantage, but no progression into B. Karma isn't going to fall. A little bit of assistance from his teammates. Mox will drop as well, and this could be the opening Optic Gaming has been searching for.
Well, they're not ready for the flank. Nagafen, he's got a couple players to shoot in the back. There's the first, and well, he's expecting to get hunted down, but no one's there. The last man for Optic Gaming actually cut through mid, but Crimsix is going to find him. And Nagafen, you think he might have slowed the pressure, but not enough. They're down 6 lives, and you got enough in the hill, and Gen.G knows it. They're trying to get off the map before the points come in, and in that, they are successful.
Yes. And in terms of the defensive stances, there was a couple of big pushes from Optic Gaming. Gen.G survived. The problem was it was almost all just traded, so that life advantage never really disappeared. And then as soon as Optic Gaming get one good break, it was all she wrote. They tie up the control 1-1.
And this has really just been a story of 2 offensive rounds where it's just immediately off the rip, 30 seconds in, you get 1 point. And then obviously Gen.G did a much better job on defense, but eventually the team on frequency should be able to break through, even if it takes a little bit of time. So if you're on defense, just hold off that first push, have a slightly better opening break, and work your way from there.
I mean, think of it, it was Optic Gaming that completely ignored B, it was Gen.G that completely ignored A. Now though, we will get a little bit of scrappiness off the rip. It's going to be the A zone, which is going to be assaulted. Gen.G will win the starting fights. That's going to be 28 to 26 life advantage, just at 2. But more importantly, 1 tick into A. Karma's thinking about maybe hitting the flank here. He's being very patient, and I'm not sure if Gen.G is going to see this coming, because you could now collapse in towards A. He's going to grapple, make some noise, but that's well played from Optic Gaming to defend A.
Very nice play coming in from Karma, because you saw Havoc actually check for it. Now Optic Gaming, though, this is the push. They have men spread across the map. Dashi's calling out, hey, there's 3 coming my way. I need the help. Number 9, Karma, he rabs back, and Scump is there with them. They read the attack. They made the adjustment. Now you got to get the kills. A player flying over top, though, Havoc. The grapple just a little too strong, and Gen.G gets some clearance.
But this is what Crimsix does so well. He hangs around the opposition spawn, and he can put so much pressure on him just by himself. Going for spawn kills. That's 2 out of thin air. Dashi on the other side, he's going to find 1. Crim delaying the push from Gen.G. Very well played from him, but they have broken through towards B. A tick and a half already through.
And keep in mind, in the back of your head, already 2 ticks at A as well. So they're just thinking about purely the objective for this one, and they got a grab slam if they're ever gonna need it. 4-man wipe right there, last man up top. He's gonna get hunted down by someone. Dashi, well, he's gonna fall, and keep in mind, hey, 2 ticks already in.
Yeah, you gotta go. You've gotta get to A if you're Gen.G, because your teammates are already there. It's Envoy and Nagafen causing pain. Don't even need to invest the grab slam. The 3rd tick is coming through. Gen.G need 1 more round, and they will go 2-1 up in the losers bracket final.
Well, this has just been a story of offensive domination.
Yes.
I will say Optic did a slightly better job defending the opening break. They eventually got a wipe, but just not enough on the other side of the map.
Now, here's the question for Gen.G. Defensively, last time they didn't even go near A, but now you have the grab slam. Now you can maybe put a little bit more pressure on that side of the map because you don't want to have to defend one zone for 2 minutes against Optic Gaming. It's just not going to work.
It's not going to be fun, and I think maybe the most ideal thing you can do on defense is try to set up for the spawn kills. You saw Optic Gaming take the attempt, but it was just when Dashi was getting hunted down over towards the B site, the reinforcements just a little bit too late.
And more importantly, Major Maniac streaks again. He did it in the search, he's done it in the control. They have a huge advantage, and they start off with the opening kill. It's Havoc onto Karma. Assault over towards B, but surely this is where you might want to consider investing a streak. There's only a couple more players there. They are still losing it. Major Maniac had the gunfight. Still hasn't called in any of the streaks. He wants to just do it the old-fashioned way. He'll find one more, but eventually drops, and Optic already have a tick.
Yeah, and I don't think you want to save the streaks either. You might as well burn him. You have him to win the round, and you got to, but his teammates get a little bit of clearance over towards B, and Nagafen, well, he's going for the spawn kills. He's got the trap set in, and these players start funneling in. There's the Hellstorm. You got to hit the angle, get that pilot's license, hit around the corner, and he's at least going to slow it down, but that's only good enough for a hit marker. Didn't get the curve.
Oh, and there's the grab slam, though, from Havoc. He recognized that was the opportunity, and now a 4-life advantage for Gen.G. Optic have one tick into B. They've invested the Tech 5, but bear in mind, a lot is coming. TJ's going to get his War Machine. Dashi now with his Tempest. And Karma and Krim working towards their specialists as well. Mox with a shot punch. Krim will trade it out. Now the Cavalry for Optic Gaming flying in towards the A zone, but Havoc's on the flank. He's tagged up Scump. Nice shots from him. B is completely uncontested, and well, I'm curious to see if Gen.G want to completely leave it. They don't. Havoc flies in. Scump's the only man in there. He will drop as well. Now Havoc working towards some streaks. This is going to be a crucial couple of gunfights. He finds one. 125, all he needs.
And Dashi's got the Tempest, though. He goes for the challenge, and Dashi is going to punish him, maybe for it, finally. Someone is eventually able to get the kill, so Dashi's got to make bigger plays with the Tempest. You do not have time.
Bear in mind, it's just 30 seconds. One tick in A, one tick in B. TJ now, he pulls out the War Machine. You've got to just funnel straight through, but TJ gets stunned. Time is ticking. You've got to make the hero play. More War Machine just rattled up. There's no one at B. This is Optic's big chance to try and break through. Havoc is there. He'll find one, and Gen.G survive. It's going to come down now to Krim solo pushing. He drops as well. If you're Optic Gaming, what do you do off spawn? 12 seconds left. They're flying towards B, but Envoy's there, ready and waiting.
But he is the lone man, but he's going to spot the information. He's going to need some help trying to stay alive. Major Maniac, the next man through. He's got the Tempest if he wants it. Envoy can take one with them. And 6.9 on the clock. I think Gen.G, they're just thinking about the life game.
I mean, at this point, it's 11 versus 5. Gen.G, a huge advantage, and TJ's trapped to the back of the map. Nagafen really wanted to go for the spawn traps, and Gen.G want to have a go at it. Major Maniac will fall. You don't want to give away too many lives, but a flank comes through from Envoy. There's one, there's two! Nagafen shuts down Dashi, and TJ and Krim need a miracle, which they are surely not going to get. Gen.G, the stats were against them, but they have clutched up big time in the control. They now have a 2-to-1 advantage in the losers bracket final.
And Major Maniac again, the man, pulling off streaks. Second map in a row. Optic was 22-5 in control at events, now 22-6. And that is a massive game. Any map, honestly, that is one at this point is a massive one to get. But Gen.G with the advantage in the series.
The last 30 seconds of that one, a little crazy, but here's a look. You thought maybe Optic Gaming had a chance when TJ pulls out the War Machine.
And again, 16v12 as well, so Optic, one good push, and honestly, they're in a fantastic spot, but you just see the wipe comes in, enough kills get traded in Havoc. This is when he is just at his best with the Sogs, and now you're forcing a bad gunfights. Krim just feels obligated to fly in and make a play. You don't have time. You got to sprint towards the hill, and it's too much spiraling out of control. And keep in mind, that's off the back of double kills from grab slams, hellstorms, and lightnings, and all the utility that Gen.G had to use that round to put Optic in a bad spot just to get that first defensive win.
Gen.G causing a statistical upset. However, the one stat that still could potentially hold true. The last couple of times these guys have played each other, game 5, game 5, game 5. Optic will need to win a hard point now to send us to that game 5 search and destroy. And if they're unsuccessful, Gen.G are going to have another go at 100 Thieves in a grand final.
And you talked about Optic when they're at a disadvantage, put in a bad spot. I believe they opened up the tournament down 2 maps to none.
Yes.
And they started with a reverse sweep. Last time they played Gen.G in the Pro League, they were able to get the reverse sweep. So they've been down before, and they have clawed their way from terrible situations. And this one, well, terrible might not be the right word. It's going to be tough, but we go back to a hard point, and we're going to a gridlock.
Yes. Talk to me about the gridlock stats then, because you've been pretty on point all event with the stats. So how's it looking for game 4?
Well, actually, Gen.G, the last time they played it, was able to get the win. It was 251-83, but that was all the way back at Fort Worth.
Oh, okay.
However, I will say, the series at Fort Worth, Gen.G eliminated them in that series. And now we find ourselves at another elimination game. So they had the edge last time, but that was a long, long time ago. And of course, Ben, we are that Game 5 duo.
Sure are. It would just seem fitting to see one of these two teams progress to play 100 Thieves in a Game 5 fashion. Of course, 100 Thieves sat backstage, I'm sure, watching the game, getting ready for their grand final. Another one. Can they go for a two-peat, or will it be one of these two teams that can shut them down? Of course, they would have to win 2 best-of-5s, which is no easy feat. But as we load into a hardpoint gridlock, Gen.G have the advantage. Optic Gaming back against the wall here in Anaheim. They look to try and progress to a grand final. We're going to start on board with Gen.G, but the kills seem to be going in favor of Optic Gaming off the rip. Envoy with 2, and well, Mox will trade it out, but it's P1 on gridlock, gents. It's going to be very contest heavy.
Yeah, quite a bit of contest time coming in. Krim looking for anything he can find. The hit fire with the ICR, not too shabby. And, well, Havoc thinking about flipping spawns, thinking about trying to make the flank, and he knows he can't get through, but Optic Gaming, they're sending at least one man back to try to pick him up. Dashy's got it. Watch, but he's going to fall. Now the Sogs for Gen.G, trying to get spawns for Nuke. Granted, Optic did get a fair bit of time on the first hill, and maybe a little bit more, as Scump is able to find 2 kills.
They'll be able to trade that out. Envoy will drop, but Havoc finds a double. But more importantly now is the spawns. You touched on it, and it's going to be Gen.G that are controlling the backside of the map. Optic Gaming will claim the final 6 seconds of kill time, so you're looking at around about a 26-point lead as we rotate through. But Gen.G should be able to chip away at that early. The question is, can they find the first wave of kills? They struggled drastically in game number 1, the first half point of this series. It was just a slay fest from Optic Gaming, but as I said, chipping away at the early lead.
And Gen.G, they have just stacked up the flank so heavily. These are players pushed out all the way towards underpass just to deal with the Optic getting pressure. Nagafen's been a lone man in the hill, and he's just been racking up all this time. So near tie game, Optic Gaming trying to break through the front. You see the cluster grenade is going to slow them down just a little bit, and that buys the ICR's time to do some damage, to look for some kills. Mox, by the way, 350 off the streak, so he's in the ballpark. And with 20 seconds left, just soak up the time and get even closer.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to rotate this one here, and that's a gunfight TJ should be winning. It's not going to have a massive effect just yet because there's 3 more Optic Gaming players in front of Havoc, but he's waiting for the reinforcements to come. And unfortunately for TJ, he's in a position where he could get spawn trapped a couple of times because a big pinch is now starting to develop over towards Tree. Scump deals with it though. 2 kills for him. Optic will have early control, but it is Gen.G with a bit of a lead.
Yeah, I think Mox, though, going to be playing heavily for these streaks. He's got an ICR. He's going to be baiting his teammates. Envoy going to be that lead man. He's got players hauling the wall. This is their job. It's break the hill second, get the streaks first for the moment, at least in Mox's mind. The team, though, leading the charge. Kills not exactly going their way. Dashy finds 2, and now Mox, the last man standing. His team gets wiped, and he is forced to back down, and this is a lot of time going the way of Optic.
Credit to him, though. He has stayed alive. There's only 6 bullets left in the ICR. Bear that in mind. He is going to run out of ammo soon, but Krim finds himself a double. No streaks for Gen.G. Optic Gaming looking to respond with a full 60, with a 60 of their own in terms of the spawn. So it's going to be Carmen left momentarily by himself. Gen.G are in the new hill.
And he's got plenty of time, though. He can wait for his teammates to come help him out, and Dashy's now back, Scump is now back. So it's a 3v4 towards the hill, but Scump with the effective first blood. Karma down the side, or that's Dashy make it, and Karma for the help. Now, Dashy is 350 off his streaks, but more importantly, Optic just had a phenomenal tree hill, and they're good on the rotation.
Yep, gonna break through. There's streaks for Scump, and he's gonna attack 5 as well. Optic Gaming looking to run away with game 4. The streaks for P1 are going to be so annoying for Gen.G to deal with, especially if Dashy's able to get his. He started to heat up now, a 6 streak for him. Scump still in the hill. He hasn't died either, a 7 streak
Crim's on a 4. Kills everywhere on the map for Optic Gaming. Gen.G, this is going to be tough to come back from.
This is apparently the first time Optic has played this map in the tournament, and I think we can see why. All the streaks they got, you got Scump with the Lightning Hellstorm, Dashy, Lightning Hellstorm on a 7 spree, by the way. Finally, he gets shut down, but this is just such a huge lead.
Bear in mind, Crim's 60 away from streaks as well. There's a very real opportunity here for Optic Gaming to get not just 2, 4, 6 streaks. TJ, he's close as well. So a 5 streak for him. Optic Gaming are blowing map 1 away. Gen.G cannot hang on as Optic take control of P1. Nagafen doing his best, but TJ looking to secure the streaks. He's 125 away. He's gonna find a kill. It's absolute chaos. Gen.G can't hold on. Oh, dearie me! TJ turns on Major Maniac. We may as well just chalk map 1.
Bullies in the hard point. Optic Gaming full speed ahead. Ben, the things Gen.G needs to do to win this game is insurmountable. Everyone for Optic stepping up. They got the entire arsenal at their disposal, and they're even getting this hill time.
I'm glad the Optic Gaming fans woke up after that because, oh lordy, lordy, lord, Optic Gaming almost forcing a game 5 with 2 streaks, 4 streaks, 5 streaks on the cards. A tremendous first rotation from Optic. Gen.G find themselves down 100 points. And the worst part of this is Optic show no signs of slowing down. We'll send it to an Optic Gaming Astro listening.
I'm on the back, one shot.
I have your boxes.
Yo, stop, put on flex, stop, put on flex.
Bus stop. Fire truck. He's 18. Yo, he's hitting inner 18 to pillar.
I
have
two pillar. Watch pinch in a sec, maybe.
Reaper and pillar.
He wore me. Oh, fuck.
One that guy flag. Nice
Yo,
one.
pillar. Weak. Watch out pillar.
Yo, hold sponge. They pinch.
He's off his work.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, wait. Maybe not.
Sushi, one shot at flute. There's 2 sushi. 2 sushi.
Shouldn't be streaks.
2.
Yeah, 100%. Don't be that.
Yeah.
Yo, I spawned it all.
Yeah. One's hitting a brick car.
Yo, they're going underpass. Right here. Yeah, right here.
I got boxes.
Yo, one gold.
I'm going down. Box.
Yo, what do they have? I have a grab.
Oh, he's underpass.
Baddie right here. He's back door.
I dropped him.
Yo, hold that side.
Yeah, I need help over here.
I got your back.
I got your back door. Yo, watch my hole.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pop board here.
You have a hole?
He's a wall.
I got it. I got a hole.
Hey, back door.
Let me
I
know.
need it on board.
I stunned it.
Yo, hold. They crashed.
That's one out. One fishing.
Towels.
2 more here.
Nice.
Yo, he's fucked. He crashed. He pushed it.
Watch out there. Back door.
I'm behind him.
Pillar.
Hill.
Jared.
Dojo.
Jared, one shot hill.
Dojo.
Watch out, Hill.
Make sure you go back door. I'm gonna go pinch hole.
Chance, just when you thought it was all over, Gen.G somehow gets some control. Envoy with streaks, Nagafen with streaks. It was a 2-14 start to this game for Major Maniac. There's no way that repeats. Gen.G are somehow coming back into this game.
And those comms, I mean, they were clean, they were business as usual, but there was less energy than I was expecting. So Optic, well, they need to make sure they don't let the foot off the gas too far. This has been a massive turnaround, and now Major Maniac in the hill needs to just get something going. Well, he's gonna get shut down, and Optic on tree, at least trying to contest, and you can already see Karma. He's thinking about the rotation, and Gen.G, wrong side of the map.
And Karma's the only one there with 5 seconds. The hill's gonna rotate, and he's gonna have essentially no one to even fight because Gen.G's far away. But bear in mind, Gen.G has brought this within about a 45-point game, so credit to them for the comeback. We heard Optic Gaming. Now, let's listen in with Gen.G.
Hill, one shot. Yellow, one shot. What's top? Yo, set. Yo, dead. Help me, Hill.
I'm going top.
Meeting back door. Inside, one shot.
Top, dead. Two top.
The top jump. I got
one with the hill. Dead, one with the
hill. Two in hill. One back door, one shot. Back door, one shot. Scum. Wait. Stay.
We have streaks for new guys.
Close hurt. Slide on this guy. Can't yet. Deep hurt.
Yeah, I'm top.
Close weak. Stay up, Cole. Just stay up.
We have streaks for new.
Push out front.
We gotta play for this time. Play for this time, guys.
He backed out of it. Might be playing streaks low key. Remember, back up, Mike. Back up.
One top. One top T.
That's just one shot.
You hear Gen.G say we got to play for this time. The reason why is they have streaks. The problem, TJ got a streak as well. It looked as if Gen.G had a streak advantage. Now, not the case. P1 is just going to be a streak fest. There's going to be streak after streak after streak. We rotate now, and it's going to be Dashy, the first to call in the Hellstorm, but you expect it to be responded. Envoy's going to call in the Lightning Strike, and that is basically going to be the next 30 seconds.
I was going to say, no one's really going to get a lot of hill time. Optic's able to get a couple seconds. Nagafen's going to take him down. Players are just gonna die repeatedly, and I guess you might want to think about the spawns. You got Gen.G maybe to next with the rotation, and Krim, by the way, actually used his vision pulse, which again, even if Optic does break through or contest a little bit, you can just call in more streaks. You don't really have much to save it for. Scump's gonna use his for the triple. You have to imagine someone for Gen.G is gonna use one right back.
I mean, right now it's a 2-2 streak game, right? Envoy Nagafen, there comes Envoy with the Hellstorm. That's gonna find one. Is he gonna be able to find the second? Yes, he will. 235, 153. There's 10 seconds of time, but, and this is the big but, Gen.G have rotated. They are already on B Street. They need to stay alive, and that's a very important kill from Dashi.
That's your main ICR gone. He just plays with his life. Now all the pressure's here. Havoc, he's got a grab slam, and he might be forced to make a play with it. Nagafen with the lightning strike, can find two, and he gets another with his gun, so Naga right now, the saving grace for Gen.G, but Ben, they got a long way to go.
Here's the problem as well, is when they rotate to tree, they have no more streaks available. Optic Gaming still with two. Scump with the lightning, TJ with the lightning as well, so Gen.G can hold on all they want, but that rotation is going to be damn near impossible if it even gets that rotation, because one Optic Gaming break, they will take this map and they will send us to a game 5.
And they're going to take their time with you. You got Scump on the flank, a couple players creeping up, and that means Scump's got to go quick. Havoc can only find one, but the flank is in. Scump at least getting shot down, but he's going to get dropped. Dashi gets dropped, and Crim6, the last man standing, dropped. Gen.G, first hold is done, and they get a little bit of time to rotate, but they get one good chance to break.
The one break as well may come with Mox with a Vision Pulse and Major Maniac with a Tempest. Dashi's already pulled out his Tempest. Scump may get a Tech 5 boost. TJ maybe a War Machine. This is it though. Time is of the essence. If you're Gen.G, you have to fly forward and you've got to go now. Both Tempests is out, and so far it's Optic Gaming still in the hill. Nagafen will drop. Dashi looking to be the playmaker. 4 players in showers. He goes down. Gen.G surge in.
They waited for the final second to make the move, and it was perfect. Now they got to hold on, and they got the War Machine, the front runner. They got the Vision Pulse to find them. TJ calls in a lightning, but you don't get a ton out of it. Scump might even call his in as well.
Bear in mind, if you're Optic Gaming, you just need to contest a little bit of time. Send it to a new hill. Have they been able to do it?
No.
Yes. I think they will. I think they're going to be able to do it. They need 2 seconds of contest time, but admittedly, you have to still get to the hill, right?
Got to get to the hill, and Optic Gaming, they're setting up the pinch. They got 3 men working on the flank. They come through this door, and TJ uses the War Machine to get it happen. The trophy's going to be down, but TJ, they're a little bit burnt. 3 seconds, and the game is there. They get the break, and they get the game.
You see the stress on Optic Gaming's faces. They had 1 shot at the break. That was all they had. They break through, they win the game 4, and they send it to game 5.
And I think that was Mox trying to get a trophy down, and Optic had their one first. Now, we're gonna get a replay for you to show you exactly what happened. And it's scrappy. And Gen.G, so patient, working their way through showers. They let 247 get put up on the board before they swarm in, but it was done perfectly. Sogs pick up 3 of the 4 kills, Mox with the next, and the War Machine and Vision Pulse to force the players out. Now, when the 2 streaks come in from TJ and then Scump after, it wasn't enough. Gen.G could have still won the game on this hill. They need 25 now, 30 seconds on the clock. So Optic, you called it exactly right. They had to make the break or at least contest for a couple more seconds. They took their time, they set up for it, and they got it.
An insane final few moments, and this is really the push. Optic time against them, they have to go.
And then it's this War Machine right here. Mox instantly tries to throw the trophy, but he gets caught as soon as he gets it down. He was holding it for a moment too long, maybe wanted to save it for next hill, but the War Machine just a little too fast, and Optic pushing it to that game 5.
We've seen Optic Gen.G so many times this year. It's gone game 5 every single time, and this is going to be no different. The losers bracket final here at Anaheim, going the distance. We'll be back after this.
gentlemen, the time has come.
I can't believe what we're witnessing! Are you serious right now?
Game 5, losers bracket final. Gen.G, Optic Gaming. This is what Gen.G have been working towards all year long. They've gone in tournaments as somewhat favorites. They've had big runs, but this the closest they've been to a grand final for Optic Gaming. They're looking to try and get some sweet, sweet revenge against the 100 Thieves chance. We talk numbers before every single map. Break down this Game 5, Search and Destroy on Frequency.
We'll start with the Game 5s. Optic since London, what is it, 6-0, I believe we were told. Gen.G, 1-4.
Not the best.
One is perfect, the other a little bit less than perfect. Talk about Frequency specifically low. This is when things maybe get a little bit better for Gen.G. They're 3-3 on the map.
Not bad.
Optic is 8-0.
Okay, not the best. Yeah, that could be...
Optic is 8-0 on Game 5s. Joey Nubsy better have something cooked up completely, because you have all the data on the world, but Optic are incredible at this map. They have been incredible in Game 5s. And Major Maniac had to 1v4 and drop 16 to win around 11.
Well, you would heavily favor Optic Gaming, but this series has told us one thing. Maybe stats don't mean a thing. Round number 1. Underway. It's Optic Gaming on the attacking side. So far, 30 seconds gone, still waiting for the first blood.
First blood you ask for, first blood you shall get. TJ with the first, and you think he might get the second. Mox is able to slide out, makes the read for the shot punch, but he does get traded. So advantage, well, the way of Optic. Dashy knows at least one's in the back. There's actually 2 there, and he's, well, pinched out, but that's not a problem for him. He gets shots down, Crim 6 clean up crew. Now at 2v4, 2v3, time on the clock.
Systematic rounds so far from Optic Gaming. You do still need to close it out, and it's Scump number 4, highlighted on the minimap, which honestly should be able to win this round for Optic Gaming. He's gonna get the call out. Envoy shuts down Crim, 24 seconds on the clock. Gen.G have brought this back to a 2 versus 2. Nagafen will be in U. He's connected with an EMP. Bear in mind, if he looks up top, he may actually find the second. It's Scump, he has to lie down. 12 seconds if you're Nagafen, you've got to challenge. 10 seconds, you've got to go for the stun, it's too much. Scump with the stun! Clutches up and takes round 1, but that got way too close.
And I'll tell you, Nagafen got baited by the EMP. He chucks this mid-map for information, and then he comes back just a little bit too late, not quite able to connect. In Scump, you see how slow that makes the opponent. Honestly, an easy one for Scump.
And credit to Scump, right? Because he connects with the stun, but he doesn't challenge instantly. He still plays the clock to perfection. He challenges when he knows there is a 0% chance of losing the round. A veteran play from a veteran player.
Scump and clutching on Frequency, Search and Destroy. At this point, name a better duo.
And I want to point out, you called Scump in his Search and Destroy. You've been saying for the past few months, his search play has been impeccable.
I mean, like, TJ's obviously got the stats. He's been playing out of his mind, but I'm telling you, man, Scump has really kicked it up a notch. And talk about the strats, Optic Gaming. Well, they were hunting Major Maniac down. He's able to get away, and the bomb should get planted successfully. And Optic, they're sending 5. They're sending 5 all the way around back. Maybe one's gonna float, make it 2 now through mid-map. And Major Maniac spots 1. The nade's gonna try to find him for number 2.
First blood, TJ goes down, but the nade does have its effect. 4v4, Dashy finds a double, and Nagafen in a little bit of trouble. Crim shuts him down, now a 4 versus 2, but we've been here before. Havoc and Envoy up top. Havoc tags up 1, the stun should come through. Envoy's found the first, now it comes down to Havoc. A 1v3, 15 seconds on the clock, he is behind enemy lines, makes it a 1 versus 2. The heal coming through, he shuts down Karma as well, no he doesn't. 9.5, bomb picked up just in the nick of time.
A stun from Scump in round number 1 in 30 HP from Karma. 30 HP from Karma in round number 2. I'll tell you, Havoc made the perfect play. He gave it his try, but Karma just in the nick of time.
I was never worried.
Nah, he 100% had that.
100%, right?
Not even close. Not even close.
No doubt, no doubt. 2-0 Optic Gaming. 2 very close rounds, though.
30 HP, Ben. 30 HP.
You have to think if he does fall there,
there wasn't any time. And you think about whoever is working with Karma there, if he doesn't tag up Havoc just a little bit, Karma might not win that gunfight. So that's a lot of little things Optic Gaming just did very right.
It almost seems like the story of Gen.G and their searches today, right? Just so many small things just not going their way. This, a big round for them to get their foot in the door here in this Game 5. You do not want to allow Optic Gaming to just get this much momentum in a Game 5. It's why their record is so good. Flawless London. And there's a first blood for Crim6. A man you rely on so heavily in these Game 5s, and he's done well to stay alive, but you would expect the push to come through.
Well, Major Maniac, no one's turned yet. He might have a free kill, and there it comes in. Evens the odds 4-4, and Optic Gaming actually a little bit trapped towards this A site.
And I was gonna say, the important thing there is just the pace that Major Maniac has played at. You don't expect him to hit mid-map as quick as he had, and Optic Gaming are a little bit trapped, but Major Maniac will fall 3 versus 3. Envoy taking a fight with TJ up top, now a 3 versus 2. Gen.G with an advantage. 25 seconds. Optic need to plant the bomb, and that kill should have just sealed the deal. Scump left by himself. We've been impressed with his clutching so far, but a 1v3, surely too much to ask. Mox hunts him down.
And another big round for Gen.G to get, because Optic, if they start spiraling this out of control, it can be oh so tough. And when that first blade came in, it seemed like it might have been going that way, but Major Maniac, star player, undoubtedly phenomenal performance in the first search and destroy, makes the play, gets the flank, and sets up Mox to have some easy kills by his standards. Mid-map with the ICR, just L trigger for days.
Again, so much pressure in this Game 5. Optic Gaming, 4 rounds needed, Gen.G 5. There's Gen.G back on the attack as they look to tie it up 2-2. Dashy's brought out the sniper rifle. He's aggressively playing mid. Nobody home, though. Optic Gaming may get a little bit of information, and Dashy's going to want to reposition.
He's wrapping back. Meanwhile, Karma is able to tell his team, hey, they're 100% going towards this A site. If they're not there yet, trust me, they will be. Trophy system getting thrown down so you don't get stunned out. And Dashy just waiting for the pick on outer, and if anyone's going to peek, I think it might end up being Nagafen.
Swing and a miss, and Dashy wants to try and put the moves on. As up top, it's Scump that gets first blood. Havoc goes down, but the team kill, Scump makes up for it. Shuts down Envoy, 4 versus 2. Major Maniac mid-map finds TJ, but the trade comes through again. Mox for the 1v3, now the 1v2 as Scump falls. Dashy and Karma up for Optic Gaming, 30 seconds on the clock.
And Dashy has to know, but that is the worst possible timing. But Dashy has to know that that bomb is down. He was just standing on top of it. And Mox with the ICR. He's going for the wide swing. Dashy, he might be playing this perfectly, or actually the timing doesn't go his way.
Also bear in mind, 250 away from streaks is Mox, so is that gonna play in the back of his mind? Retrieve bomb, but 10 seconds.
He doesn't have time.
You don't have
he
time
just made a bad play.
And now it just comes down to, are you gonna get terrible timing? Dashy's right in front of him! Mox! He clutches up in the final few seconds. It's ironic, just as I was saying, Gen.G don't have the lady luck on their side. A big piece of luck goes their way.
And we can't know for sure, but the way he was playing that, I think he thought he had time to wrap to plant the bomb, and someone told him, dude, that's 9 seconds. You got to go back to sight. So I think he might have had a misstep, and that just fell into his lap.
You think if he doesn't drop down and he goes straight towards you, Dashy shoots him in the back. 4 seconds on the clock. Mox gets a little bit closer to those streaks.
100 off the streaks, the 1v3. This is shades of the map too. He's got a trophy for some help, but nobody's home. Optic Gaming leaning towards this B site, and they got to keep in the back of your mind. You plant the bomb, Mox might end up getting that defuse.
Oh, but TJ, honestly, caused a lot of pain over towards you. He's delayed the push, but Envoy peaks first blood. Well, will be going down at B though. And Gen.G, now you have to try and retake TJ though. Does find the pick on an Envoy, but Mox the key man. Keep your eye on him, and well, he's going to be gifted a free kill. He knows one more is there. He has a lightning. Be a good round to Reed, that's just a beautiful read. That's just a sensational, sensational kill.
You still got to get the round win, though. He's actually going to ping the lightning, maybe call it in, but the player's mid-map. You got the information, but TJ just sprinting through it. Mox makes the read, and Dashy mid. You know where he's at, but you're on the bomb defusing, and one man's already crossed. TJ with one. Dashy gets cut down, but only 14 seconds.
You know where he is. Now it just comes down to simply do not let the player defusing die. Mox has to find the kill. He finds it.
On an 8 streak. He's got the streaks, he's got the clutch, and he played that perfectly. Waits for, I think it was Havoc, to go out for the bait. You bait for the first kill success, you got the lightning. Instead of flying out, no instant challenge, he waits for his teammate and then just shoots him through the not wall, but whatever it's called, little hand railing, and then watches over his teammate. Someone has to be the guy to shut down TJ. Last time it was Major Maniac.
That's true.
This time Mox is doing pretty okay.
But we've been here before.
Yes, we have.
Gen.G with streaks, and well, they didn't necessarily use them to their fullest, let's just say. 3-2, Gen.G. Bit of momentum going their way. They're back on the attack with 2 streaks, and more than likely by the end of this map, attack 5. We'll see. Havoc playing slow over towards A. Gen.G, this is honestly where, judging by the setup, they may want to just invest the streak. Just try and clear out one of their sites. Push forward, try and get bombed down. Then, of course, you could use the other streak, post-plant. Try and give yourself a 2-round cushion. You cannot be afraid of using both streaks in this round. You don't have to just save one. As Scump, almost with a first blood, TJ trades it, but Major Maniac flies down. Advantage, Gen.G.
Now the bomb leading over towards A. You do have Crim6 nearby. He's going to be looking at her, and well, obviously they know he's here. You get shots in, you back him down, you move the bomb up, you plan. And so long as Mox is alive on the map,
and this is perfect, because you've not even used the streak to open up the site. Now you just have a 1-man advantage, where all you need to do is back up over towards you, and this should theoretically at least be a simple round.
Major Maniac's got mid. Envoy's near the bomb. Mox is going to shoulder peek everything. Spots all 3. You see the reinforcements coming in. Envoy, the move is perfect. He's able to find 2. And Crim6 now in a 1v3 of his own. And that time is ticking down. And I think Crim, yeah, he can feel it. Take the swan dive off the map. That is 4 in a row.
And that was so well executed from Gen.G. Envoy jumping up on balcony, challenging at the perfect time. 2 free kills. Wins the round for Gen.G.
And again, Optic in game 5s, 6-0. On frequency, S&D since London, 8-0. But now they find themselves down. It's a difficult spot, more streaks to deal with.
And Gen.G 1-4 in game 5s?
1-4 in game 5s. Their only win since London in a game 5 is against E6.
But does stats even matter, Chance?
Not on Sunday.
Anything can happen. Still, Mox 2 streaks available to use. He has used the lightning ping. Remember that, but first blood from Major Maniac. Hold that nade. Dashy drops. Gen.G in the driver's seat. About to put themselves at match point should they close this round out. Mox is going to go for it. Yep, use the Hellstorm. What is he going to find? Can he angle it in towards you? It's gone a little quick. Drops it in, no one home, but TJ's fallen. And now it's a 5 versus 3. Optic's back truly against the wall.
They're all stacked up in you, and well, Gen.G, a little bit of a map spread, so it's possible, but it is incredibly difficult. Players, well, may jump up in the window. Havoc's here, he's tagged up. No one makes the commitment. Scump's going on a flank. He's got bomb. You can't drop it in a bad spot, but someone has to make the play. Here it is. First blood or next blood for Scump, and he's going to double back.
And honestly, at this point, you can just try and wrap a free kill. Comes in from Scump. You wanted someone to be the playmaker. Well, it's the king himself. Makes it a 3 versus 3. Karma fights 3 versus 2. Karma's found 2 himself. Now it's a 3 versus 1 in favor of Optic Gaming. It was a round Gen.G was surely set to win, and now Amboy has to produce a moment of brilliance. He's not going to do it. Crim with 1. And Optic Gaming survive.
In Scump with the bomb in a 3v5, less than 30 seconds on the clock. Karma gets the best play, but Scump really opened it up for the team. He flanks around, finds Major Maniac, instant double back. Havoc tries to make a play, he gets punished for it. Scump, another clutch on frequency S&D.
That's twice Gen.G's been 3v5'd as well. It happened on the Hacienda. It's happened here in the game 5. You still, though, have a lightning. Admittedly, no ping, but Gen.G still in a very good spot here. Both Tech 5 players, 9 and 5, 9 and 4.
So you could see a situation where maybe if it goes the distance, I don't want to say around 11, but if it did, very real possibility that both players get it.
And just for the information game, Mox, I'm fairly certain he's already pinged the Lightning, so he needs his team to get the information if he ever wants to call it in or just get the bomb down and land it right on top. But no bomb plant yet. Dashy's the man here for information for Optic. He feels the pressure, he backs down.
And I think just because it's a pingless Lightning, you want to use it post-plant more so than anything else, but Dashy with the first blood. It's a 5v4. Cannot get nervous in these situations. As Karma's going to have all the information in the world, and he's done well just to stay alive. And he's going to be calling out the Gen.G rotation, and Optic Gaming will fly across the map.
Yeah, Optic is just going for the swarm. You get the bomb plant. Mox, maybe if he stays alive, there's hope. But Optic, you just see those arrows. This is a swarm. TJ, well, you might get caught out, actually. He's going to fall. Dashy, the next man up, trying to make a play, but Mox is gone.
And that's such an important kill because now you actually have U control, which is where the bomb is planted for. Gen.G may have just clutched up. The jiggle peek comes through from Mox. No one on the bomb, and Mox has somehow stayed alive. Havoc's there to the rescue. He finds two. It's a 2v4. It's a 1v4. Dashy falls, and Gen.G win the round, which is going to be so crucial. It puts them at match point.
You saved the lightning strike. Optic Gaming, so much that they have to consider. The good news, again, there is no ping, but how do you play around it? You plant the bomb at all, you're risking getting killed. You try to find Mox on the map, but it's the ICR player that has it. He's gonna play passive, he can afford to. He's not the playmaker on the team, or he has been in this map, but he can afford to stay alive.
And even if you botch the lightning strike, you have a 2-round cushion. Optic need to win 3 in a row to find their way back into a grand final here at Anaheim. And while Optic on the attack, you asked Joey Nubsy, what have you got, the coach of Gen.G? Why have you picked this map when all stats pointed towards it being a drastic mistake? It's not over yet, but Gen.G again are in the driver's seat. Karma with the first blood onto Envoy. Optic Gaming looking to try and find a pick out of Dashy, swinging a miss, just Major Maniac, but he doesn't miss twice.
Doesn't miss twice, and now if you're Mox, do you call in the Lightning? You know they got clearance towards the site, but he hasn't called it in yet, and Scump is able to get the bomb down. Optic man advantage. You play around the plant.
And here's the huge thing. It's actually Krim deep on the flank. He's going to make sure Yu's okay, but Dashy's going to be pushed. He has nothing but a pistol and a sniper rifle, but Krim is playing the safety role here. He will find Nagafe. Can he find the second? That doesn't necessarily matter too much. It is still a 3 versus 2. You just cannot get pieced. Havoc is also working towards streaks. Not that it may matter if they do win this round. 20 seconds on the clock. Mox peeks. And do you just play this for streaks? Dashy tries to escape. He drops 2v2, 11 seconds. Havoc is still working towards streaks. He pushes forward. Scum finds the kill. Optic win the round. And you could argue there that maybe Gen.G should have played that a little more passive at you and just chalked up the round and tried to play for extra streaks.
And they still have not elected to try to use that lightning, and see the call at the end. You try to force it in. Mox tries to tag up Scump to get those streaks for Havoc. Scump, you talk about winning the important gunfight. Takes the right man down. And you shut down at least a couple more. Still for Optic, cannot be understated. It's so tough to play around. They've had success the first time. Dashy getting picks was, of course, very helpful.
And bear in mind now, Havoc's also working towards a grab slam too. Mox attack 5, as is Scump. The nade is going to come out. Dashy survives. The nade doesn't connect with the kill, but it is enough information. And the problem is if the bomb goes down for Gen.G, Mox still has the lightning strike for post-plant. He is such a high priority target. It's a 5v4, but bomb is down. The round definitely not over yet.
He's going to play for information, but again, Optic, if they find this kill, they're not in a bad spot. He hasn't seen anyone yet, knows someone's going to be on the bomb. Does he go for the gunfight or just call it in? Well, it looks like he's going to do both, but now the move is here. He's even got the crash. He's going to call that, but Krim, the gunfight, the lightning strike find 3, 2v2.
20 seconds on the clock. Optic Gaming, you've got to go, and the Tech 5 boost was, of course, invested. Envoy's played it so smart. He shuts down Krim. Scum shuts down Mox, but there's 13 seconds. Envoy, all he has to do is play time. He checks the bomb, Scum falls, and Gen.G do it. They've been fighting all year for this moment. They've booked their spot back in a grand final thanks to a Game 5 clutch against Optic Gaming.
1v4. or 1 and 4, I should say, in Game 5s, Ben. Optic was perfect. Frequency S&D, Optic was perfect. Joey Nubsy knows something that we simply do not. It took a ton. It took Major Maniac in that game number 2, 16 kills, 1v4. It took Mox, 8 streak, a 1v3, the lightning strike of time in that game number 5. And Ben, we get a rematch in the grand finals, at least from this tournament. Gen.G, they get to take a second crack, actually a third crack at 100 Thieves.
And that's going to give them a ton of confidence, because now you go into a grand final where you need to defeat 100 Thieves, not just once, but twice in a row. No easy feat for Optic Gaming. Commiserations to them. They bow out in 3rd place here at Anaheim. For Gen.G, though, what a result. Again, statistically speaking, that was a game 5 they should not have won. But when push came to shove, they kept their composure. Mox carried them through the first few rounds. He gets the streaks and, of course, the Tech 5 boost, which had a big effect towards the end, of course. And congratulations to Gen.G. You're in a grand final. You've been calling them to win a few events now, but you have to be 100 Thieves twice. This is still going to be so hard.
I mean, it's going to be incredibly difficult. Some might even say impossible, but Gen.G clutches like that. This is not the same team that has the mental weakness we might have thought that they had in the past. They are clutch. They are as competitive as you could possibly ask for. And Ben, I'm expecting fireworks in the grand finals.
It's been a great Anaheim so far, and there's still 1 series left to go. Before we get to the grand final, we'll send it now down to Jess with the PlayStation Instant Reaction.
Thank you, Ben. Do you have anything to say to Optic Gaming after sending them home?
It was some good games, like always. We were looking forward to playing them, so yeah, good games to them.
Are you ready to face 100 Thieves in the grand finals?
We are. It's like the 3rd rematch this event, so we got to try to take it now.
And finally, what do you have to say to your fans before you head into the grand finals?
I appreciate all you guys' support. It doesn't go unnoticed, and let's hope we win this.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. Over to Katie at the desk.
Thank you, Jess. It has been decided, our grand finals, 100 Thieves and Gen.G once again. Optic Gaming has gone home. I'm your host, Katie Bedford, joined by Nameless, Study, and Pac-Man. Is that, Pac, how you expected it to shake out between those two?
No, I expected Optic to come out here and win this, but commiserations to them, first of all. They played a really good tournament. They just fell a little bit flat. Gen.G, huge performance in that game 5. A lot of things went their way in that game.
Yeah,
that was a lot of COD timing in that game. Tough loss for Optic Gaming and their fans.
All right, then on the side of Gen.G, who do you think really stood out?
For me, they all played great, but for me, it was Mox in that game 5. You know, in the previous segment, we were talking about who needs to step up on this team for them to get to a final, and it had to be Mox. He had to go toe-to-toe with the ARs, and on that game 5, he made a statement. He picked up those streaks, had that insane round where he got 3 kills from the top window, and that was pretty much the turning point in that game.
For me, it was a solid duo between Envoy and Havoc. The way that they won that control was insane. They were able to take that B point off both offenses and then completely use that to have those kills. They go for that immediately, take that B site, and wrap back and have full control of A. Optic simply didn't stand a chance, because once you lose that most important point in control, you're not gonna win. You lose that B point, but you have to wrap into A and flood that U connector. It's impossible.
Yeah, but still, they're going to have to take 2 series, Nameless, away from 100 Thieves, who just sent them down to the losers bracket.
They've lost 100 Thieves twice in this tournament. That's the one team that absolutely destroys Gen.G. Gen.G, maybe they figured something out, but they just lost 2 hard points in that series to Optic Gaming. Who's a better hardpoint team than Optic Gaming? 100 Thieves by a mile. So 100 Thieves, they've looked better in Search and Destroy. If they just win that game too, I think the series will be over in 1.
Pac-Man, when you looked at Optic Gaming in that series, what do you kind of feel went wrong for them? Or was it just Gen.G coming out so strong?
There was some heroics out of Gen.G to get it to that point. Major Maniac game 2 had 16 kills, and they got him off the bomb at the very end. That control, I think that Gen.G just played 100 Thieves, was super strong on that control mat, and I think they learned from their mistakes in that game right before that. So, I mean, Optic only lost 2 controls in this whole entire tournament, and they lost both those series. So, obviously, the key for them was losing that game 3.
This round was so huge. Dashy was able to pick up that first blood. You catch him rotating to this A site. You see Mox pushing through this U connector. Immediately, you should be pushing through this. They plant the bomb, and they're able to wrap back to their base. Keep in mind, they also have that lightning strike. That's basically what they were playing for. But once they were able to forward push back to their base, it was impossible.
it's TJ. He just prematurely goes into you, and he gets some bad timing, but still dies, and it makes it a 4 versus 4 situation. And then Optic Gaming, really this entire map, U was like the worst. It was the hot spot for them. They kept dying there. Players kept making plays on Gen.G from U, and you know, right there, they sort of go one by one. And if TJ were to just wait and they coordinated a better push, they would have been able to use their numbers, kill them, and secure that round.
So when I saw Gen.G trapped right there on the bomb side, I was like, so they choked the previous round before that.
Yeah.
When the Scump managed to pull off a 3v5. I was like, oh, these guys are stuck on the bomb. They had nowhere to go, but Optic played it so slow. They didn't collapse, and TJ ended up going in first, dying. They let them all the way through you, like Nameless said, back throughout their side. Optic ceded complete control back to them in that round, and that was a crucial moment for me in that whole entire series.
One thing that I liked about Gen.G, especially in that map 5, is usually we see Dashy having a competitor with a sniper. Nagafin was not sniping. It was all team pushes out of Gen.G, completely took Dashy out of his comfort zone. We saw him only hit one snipe throughout the entire map. Overall, it was just great planning out of Joey, Nubsy, and Gen.G.
They also did that on game 2 on Hacienda. If you remember, they planted on that A bomb site. Dashy had that sniper out near the fence, and we were watching him the whole time. He tried to get a pick, and they didn't peek once. They didn't throw any shoulders, used their numbers, closed out the round. Did a great job of neutralizing the sniper for the most part.
Now let's look at our grand finals bracket. Only 2 teams remain. You can see them right in front of you, 100 Thieves and Gen.G going head-to-head for the 3rd time here at CWL Anaheim, and that's gonna be the big question. Gen.G haven't been able to beat them, and they have to beat them 2 times in a row.
They won 1 map total, I believe, in this tournament against 100 Thieves in two attempts. This is a huge uphill battle. Maybe the biggest I've ever seen in terms of winning 2 series from losers bracket. I mean, they're gonna have to take hard points. I don't think they're strong enough to take the 2 SNEs and control from them. They're gonna have to figure out a way to win a hard point, unlike that series just now against Optic Gaming.
At this point, if you're Gen.G, we've known that everyone usually vetoes Arsenal, a hard point against 100 Thieves. You think they're gonna play Hacienda again? I'm pretty sure they're 7-0 now. Or you think they're gonna try to let
Personally, I would actually let Arsenal through.
Yeah.
The 100 Thieves hasn't played it this weekend.
Exactly.
Now, we know they're really good at it, for sure, dominant. But they're beating you on Hacienda anyways. They haven't played it. I don't know if Gen.G is strong enough. I have to check their stats.
So maybe what, hope they're a little rusty?
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing Hacienda all weekend.
And they're 7-0.
Yeah, so go ahead and, if it was me, I'm letting it through, trying to get a dub, trying to change up something. You have to change something in your vetoes.
Advice here.
You've won one map. So what? You let Arsenal through, they beat you on it. Nothing has changed. They're beating you anyways.
The issue is, even if you beat 100 Thieves in that first series and you play that veto process, well, you go into that next series and you're like, okay, well, let's switch it up this time. And then you're
if I beat them in a series, we're playing the same map. Run it back.
All right.
There's no way I'm changing.
Nameless, when you look at Gen.G, we've seen Mox step up. We've seen a lot out of Envoy. Who else on this team do you want to see go big to maybe take it away from 100 Thieves?
Nagafin don't get turned on, and it might be a little bit easier for them in the series. No, but Nagafin, he definitely does need to step it up. He's had too many maps where he's sitting at like -10, -11. We know that 100 Thieves have some really powerful ARs on their team, and in that last series, I think that they lost because the AR duo on Gen.G was not strong enough to go toe-to-toe with Slasher, Kenny, and Octane. So if those guys step it up, Mox and Nagafin, once again, I think that they can have a good chance at taking down some respawns in this series.
If they get to a position like they were map 4 against Optic, where they could have closed that out, they need to do it against 100 Thieves. They will not get a second chance to win this series. You have to close out in those crucial moments. You got to make sure your communication's on point, because Mox had his trophy before that ever happened. Before TJ entered in with that War Machine, he had it. Could have thrown it down, but it was a hectic moment. You have to make sure you close out a spot like that if you get the opportunity against 100 Thieves. You must.
All right, it's time to look at our Totino's epic matchup. Again, going into these grand finals, 100 Thieves and Gen.G. You can see it right there. Wow, that 100 team record.
3 maps.
This is a
best respawn team in the game. It's now in S&D.
It's just so weird to look at, because, I mean, Gen.G's in the finals. They're obviously amazing, but it looks like a David and Goliath match. Like, 100 Thieves has played an amazing tournament, man. And
the way that I feel Gen.G is going to be able to come close to winning this series, it has to start with that map 2. We saw them both in the last 2 series. That map 2 went 6-5, 6-5. One in their favor, one not. If they're able to close out that map 2 and then eventually get that frequency control, you saw them tied 2-2 against 100 Thieves as well. If they're able to play the way that they just played against Optic Gaming, it'll be a lot better of a series.
They definitely have to win that map 2, but I disagree that it has to start there. It has to start with map 1. They need to win that first hard point. Like, it's so imperative that they start winning hard points.
Here's the thing, though. Even though that control frequency went 3-2 against 100 Thieves last time. None of their offensive rounds were close. Not a single one. It was all blowouts, all 3 of them. I don't think that they're going to be able to play that map and beat 100 Thieves on it playing in that way. It just was not close.
Now, we've talked a lot about these two teams. We've talked a lot about the players, but we need to talk about the crowd that is with us here in CWL Anaheim. On that note, let's take a look at some of the signs that we've seen these last 3 days. Of course, we have Dashy has 11. What? Octane still enjoys Nickelback. I said it yesterday, Nickelback is a fine band.
Dashy has 11 toes.
J-Cap sleeps with a line.
I believe it.
I've heard of that. I've heard
He's
that.
always up late night. Like, who's up?
Beards make you better. That is true.
That's
facts.
facts, you know.
That's
Straight
facts.
Got
facts.
a glorious
Life
beard
as well.
up here. What's wrong with The Bachelorette?
I don't know. It's not as good as The Bachelor.
No,
A bunch
that's
of
true.
dudes on The Bachelor.
I like some of them. Wait, so how do you guys feel about Nickelback?
I couldn't name one Nickelback song
neither
right
could
now.
I. Neither could I.
You
I was
give me
about
$10,000.
Wait,
I'm going to name one, but I don't think that's
definitely
by them. You know what? Next topic.
All right, guys, well, it's almost time. We have one more matchup left for you here at CW Anaheim. Soon, in just a couple hours, this will be done. Again, 100 Thieves versus Gen.G will be coming up in just a little bit. Get ready, we're about to crown our champion.